and welcome to Guitarist Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.guitarist.com. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston. We're speaking to a good friend of mine, David Clerest from the David Clerest Project. Welcome to the show, David. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great to be talking to you because I got to let people know listening to this that you and I first hooked up years ago as friends on MySpace. I don't know if you remember that, but how the world has changed since then, huh?
Yes, definitely.
And like I commented on my page when I was kind of advertising we're going to be talking to you today, you're still doing your thing, and I got to tell you, you sent me a copy of your White Knight CD, and this is from 2011. Is this the latest album you've done?
Yeah, I've released a few singles.
Oh, okay.
Since then.
Okay.
But that was like an EP that I released back then. Yes, that was the last EP.
And I gotta tell you, and the folks listening, really, of course, I knew you were a guitar player, but the most impressive thing to me when I was reading the liner notes and the credits is you're kind of your own one-man band. I mean, as far as you have a singer, a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer. You do it all. You write the songs. So was that kind of just for recording purposes, or?
Well, I actually, for recording purposes, and I also performed as a one-man band.
Wow.
Since 1990, I've been doing this one-man show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got kind of frustrated because back in the 80s, I had a three-piece band.
Yeah.
A drummer and a bass player accompanying me. I was playing rhythm and lead and singing.
Wow.
And it was just so frustrating to keep the band together. And so I finally decided to just do it all myself. I would probably save a lot of time just doing it myself. So I've been doing this for a very long time now. And
so, like, when you do it live, like, how do you do that? Like, I imagine, you're up there singing and playing the guitar, but as far as the drum and the bass, do you have backing tracks, or how do you do that live?
Yeah, exactly. The backup tracks. I pre-record the drums and the bass to accompany me on stage. When I'm playing on stage, I'm playing rhythm and lead and singing. That part of it is all live, and then I have drums and bass as backup tracks.
See, for a project like this, I don't think that's as big of a deal. I mean, you hear people talk about people performing with live backing tracks, but I think like anybody who follows you, they kind of know that about you, and I think it would be kind of a cool show to see like a one-man band type of thing, and of course you can't be doing everything up on stage, so you do what you can, and you're still able to put off quite a remarkable show.
Yeah, I've been getting pretty good reviews about the actual live shows. I don't know if you go to my website. I think there's a few people wrote up about it.
I'll be posting some of that stuff up on our pages so people can get a better idea of what you're all about. But how often do you play out? The reason I'm asking is like if you've been affected like a lot of musicians with all these COVID lockdowns, not being able to play out in the last 2 years, or have you still been able to do it?
Well, actually, I haven't been performing live for the past 5 years, I would say, maybe.
Okay.
I was in a major car crash towards the end of 2015.
Oh, wow.
That really messed me up. My arms were completely going numb, and then it got better after a while, but my fingers would still go numb, and I couldn't take a chance being on stage and halfway through the set not be able to play. So I just kind of called it off for a while. But this year is the year I've been really getting back into playing again.
Wow.
And hoping to do some live shows. But even though I had that problem, I was able to write and record, because when you're recording, you have time to, record for 10 minutes, take a break, record some more. So I was able to record those singles during this time. But I haven't been performing live, but I'm getting back into it this year.
Wow, what a remarkable story. I mean, I had no idea about that. I mean, wow, I mean, it's really a true comeback in every sense of when the car accident happened, I mean, did you were you told that you'd never be able to play again, or what was your prognosis at the time?
Well, they couldn't figure it out, really. They said it's probably a pinched nerve in my neck that's causing the numbness in my arms.
Yeah.
But there was really nothing they could do about it, I guess. But now I'm going through some
therapy,
acupuncture treatments, and other physical exercises that I'm doing, and that's helping me getting back into playing guitar again.
Well, that's just totally amazing, and I probably not on the same level as you, but I can kind of relate, and anybody that can't, I can tell you, I used to a few years ago, I suffered haven't suffered from it in a number of years now, but I was suffering from a pinched nerve in my back, and I gotta tell you, I mean, just getting out of a car, like it would usually I'd get it like maybe once a year, every so often, and always be in my back, and like it was just to the point where, like with me, I don't think I was as bad as you, but like just getting out of the car took me 15 minutes. It usually lasts for like 3 days, and then I'd have to do these exercises to go away, and then like just I couldn't even lay down in bed for those 3 days. I'd have to kind of sit up in a chair. So and it got so bad I had to like walk with a cane, like when I had my pinched nerve. But mine luckily went away. But I can kind of relate to what that's like.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Right after the accident, it was bad. I was going to chiropractors that helped me with my lower back and all that. Mm-hmm. But the arms going numb, that wasn't going away for years. Yeah. So I'm finally now getting back into it.
well, thank God, and thank God that you can still do it. I mean, that's got to be a scary thing to go through. I mean, first of all, getting in that bad of a car accident. I mean, when you come out of it, you're like, well, I'm lucky just to even be alive. But then to go through that other stuff and be a guitar player and a musician, you're like, wow, what if I can never play the guitar again? What if I can never? Your life would have totally changed. Thank God, it's kind of coming out on the other side of it,
Yeah, actually, it's been kind of depressing not being able to play live.
I bet, yeah.
I really crave being in front of a crowd performing, and I was really kind of depressed for the past few years. I can't not be playing music. That's my passion. It's everything I've ever wanted to do. So.
Yeah, I mean, you want to look for inspiration. I mean, look at a guy like, Jason Becker. I mean, he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease like over 30 years ago, and he's not able to get out there tour, but he still put out, great music and doing his thing, and even in the shape he's in. So, you see something like that, and you're like, there's some hope, maybe. You can still get out there and do your thing, even if you have to just put out music, until you're able to get up on the stage again. But talk about, like I said, the ultimate comeback. When you finally step up on stage again, I mean, that's got to be like what the ultimate feeling, a dream come true.
Yes, it is for me. I really crave that. I miss it, and I've been very depressed not being able to do it.
And so, as far as, like I said, this is I really urge people to check out, go to YouTube and check out all your pages and all your music, because this White Knight CD, I mean, it's a 5-song EP, I guess, and all 5 tracks are pretty awesome. I mean, I listen to this stuff and I hear kind of a heavy kind of Iron Maiden, Dio kind of influence. I don't know if you were influenced by any of that, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Sure, yeah. I kind of grew up listening to all that stuff, so I'm inspired by a lot of the 70s and 80s bands, musicians that were around. Yeah. Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden. That kind of thing.
And so, as far as Black Sabbath, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was saying, as far as Black Sabbath, did you like all eras of Black Sabbath, or were you more into the Ozzy or the Dio stuff?
Well, I love the Ozzy era, but I also like Dio.
Yeah.
So he's an incredible vocalist. It's probably in the top 5 greatest vocals in my book. Dio is definitely great. And 1980, I don't know if you remember, everybody was kind of anticipating to see what Black Sabbath is going to do without Ozzy. Yeah. And what is Ozzy going to do without Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
Both of those bands, Ozzy came out with Randy Rhoads. Yeah. Totally blew everybody's mind. And Black Sabbath picked up Dio, and they did Heaven and Hell album, 1980. Yeah. And blew everybody's mind. So, yeah,
I mean, both went on to bigger and better. I mean, I dare say. I mean, I love both Ozzy and Dio, but I lean a little more towards Dio because I mean, I love the way he wrote his lyrics, and like you said, going back to 1980 when that Heaven and Hell album came out, nobody had any idea that Black Sabbath would go on to that kind of success. They thought it was going to be all over for them, and while Dio and Ozzy are very different types of singers, I mean, they were both good for the band, but Dio really took them to the next level. I mean, a lot of people don't realize on those classic Ozzy albums, it was really Geezer Butler that was writing all the lyrics. And I've heard Geezer talk over the years, but hey, when Ronnie joined the band, I mean, a guy that writes like that, I didn't need to write anything,
Yeah, Dio is definitely one of my influences. He's a great vocalist and songwriter.
And David, talking about inspiration, I mean, I think, in spite of everything you've been through the last couple of years, I mean, you've got a very inspirational story, and especially when you hit that stage again, I mean, people are going to hear what you've been through, and they're going to be like, well, if he can do it, then maybe, I can do it. And I think it's just amazing what you've been through, that you're even still here doing what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I hope I can inspire other people to keep going with their music. Yeah. And I can't wait to get back on stage again.
and like I always knew you were a guitar player, but I'm very impressed in listening to the album. I mean, you write all the lyrics and everything. So I was curious, when you were starting out in music or starting to learn how to do music, probably start out on the guitar, but did you always want to be a singer as well, and sing your own music, or is that something you kind of fell into?
Well, actually, my main instrument is drums. I played drums since early childhood. Wow. My mom was a percussionist and singer, and my uncle was professional drummer. So that comes very naturally to me. It's very natural for me to play drums. Okay. And I always sang too, a little bit here and there. And then when I was 13, I bought my first guitar. Wow. And I kind of taught myself. I bought some books that teaches you how to play different chords. I started singing songs about, Beatles and stuff like that. And, pretty soon I was writing my own music and stuff too. So it all kind of comes natural. But I started with drums, then I switched to guitars. And once you play guitars, bass guitar comes easy. It's a lot easier. Yeah, see,
that's amazing, because I think a lot of people think of you as a guitar player, and to find out the drums is what you start out on. But a lot of people have that story. I mean, even a lot of guitar shredders like Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee, Eddie Van Halen, people fail to realize those guys started out like playing the piano, and that's, I think, part of the reason not only were those guys such great musicians, but such great songwriters, because anybody that start out on the piano, that's a great tool for writing music. And you talk about starting out on the drums. People may not even realize it, but like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Janie Lane from Warren, those guys were drummers first before they were ever fronting their bands, or ever lead singers.
Yeah, it helps. Like when I write music. Yeah. I kind of compose all the different parts. I kind of know what the drums are going to do, how the bass is going to go, and of course the guitar parts and the singing. So I kind of write and arrange the whole music and how every instrument should be playing. Yeah. And back in the 80s when I was in a band, I was trying to tell the drummer, you got to go like this. Yeah. Incorporate the beat a little bit here. And then we get upset, like, I know I'm a drummer, whatever. Yeah. And it would get kind of messed up. But now that when I started doing it all on my own, I had more freedom to kind of do everything the way I thought it should go. And it helps when you play multiple instruments. And when you become a better songwriter.
And when you produce your own music, I mean, it makes you that much of a better producer, because when you are working with other musicians, you have that ability, like you said, to kind of have a better understanding for what that guy is doing. And and again, I think while you might not think of yourself as a Ronnie James Dio type of singer, I think like a lot of people, when you can kind of do everything like what you do, David, and you write the music and you sing it, a lot of times, even though you may not consider yourself as a virtuoso singer, you have the ability to sing, more from the heart, and it's really heartfelt when people are listening to the music because you're doing it all. It's your music, your creation, your baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't consider myself the greatest singer.
But it works. It works for what you do.
Or Dio, I'm probably not all that good, but...
But what I'm saying is it works for what you do.
It comes from my heart.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's my song, and I know how to project it out.
Yeah, and I almost dare say that you probably could get another singer, but because he would be singing your songs that you wrote, it might not be as heartfelt, even if he was a better singer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not ruling out putting a band together, or maybe even have an orchestra backing it up. But it's a lot easier when you're a one-man band.
Yeah.
Like after the album White Knight came out, I decided I was going to tour Europe, and I did this. I got my passport and I went to Europe to promote my album White Knight. Imagine how much harder it would be if you got to get 3 or 4 other guys to get their passports and be willing to take the time out to go there, So it makes it a lot easier, but eventually maybe there will be a band. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess financially too, it makes all the difference in the world if you don't have to pay other guys and you can do it all yourself.
Yeah, you could say it. I think Lemmy for Motorhead was saying the same thing, because at some point I think he had 2 guitarists, and then when he went to one guitarist, he said, it's more feasible economically, like you make more money because there's less people in the band.
Yeah, I mean, the last few years of his life, Motorhead became a like a 3-piece, which was pretty cool, I think, and so as far as I guess since you started out the drums, who are some of your favorite drummers that kind of influenced you to, do what you do?
Well, I really like John Bonham.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
Yeah, definitely John Bonham. And Neil Peart is another one.
Yeah.
But one of the more recent drummers that I really admire is Nick Menza. He was with
Megadeth. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I happened to actually meet with him almost to the day, 4 months before he died. We took pictures together and stuff. Wow. And 4 months later, he was gone.
Wow, how ironic. I mean, and talk about, what a tragic way to go in a way, but he died on stage, literally doing what he loved doing. And, and I understand there's going to be a movie coming out about him that I think David Ellison and Chris Poland, who used to be guitar player in Megadeth, are putting together about his life. So that's going to be a cool thing to check out when it comes out.
Wow, I didn't know that. I would definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, and so who are some of your favorite guitar players that influenced you?
I would say, Jimi Hendrix for sure.
Okay.
When I first heard Jimi Hendrix and he was doing all these riffs on his guitar and singing at the same time, I thought that was, wow, I wish I could do that. Yeah, so that was one of my main influences. And Jimmy Page, I studied Jimmy Page's playing for a while.
Yeah. Now, of course, Jimmy Page, from Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin.
Great guitarists out there, I don't know.
Jimmy Page, you can never go wrong with from Led Zeppelin. But I was curious, did you ever get to check out that album he did with Coverdale, and what did you think of it?
I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was nice.
I liked it. I mean, I didn't get why Robert Plant was so against it, because I don't really think Coverdale is like trying to rip him off. I think it's more just that's what influenced him. And so, David, are you currently working on any new music?
Yeah, I've been writing again, and I'm hoping to start recording pretty soon. And then hopefully either by the end of this year or early next year, I would probably put out, if not a full album, at least an EP again.
Yeah, so as far as getting... Yeah. That's cool. So as far as getting up on the stage again, you're hoping that's going to be this year, right?
I'm pretty sure I will be doing some shows this year. And I'm also considering maybe doing a little side project, maybe doing a cover band, tribute band.
Well, tribute bands are really fun. I mean, A lot of people, joke about it, but I like to call it rock and roll theater. I've enjoyed many of these tribute bands, and it's really quite fun because a lot of them dress up the part, as you know, and like just to give you an example, I went to see this Guns N' Roses tribute band from Los Angeles and called Appetite for Destruction, and the guy that does Axl Rose, his name is Gar Boris. He looks and sounds just like Axl Rose from 1987, and I kid you not, if you go see the show, this band, you would swear it was Guns N' Roses from 1987. You close your eyes, and it's that good. And bands that are really, really good like that, they take you back to maybe the first time you heard Welcome to the Jungle on the radio, or you've seen the band on MTV, or you've seen the band live. That's the fun of those type of bands,
Yeah, there are a few tribute bands that I really like. I like the band Queen Nation. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. They're great at what they do.
And there's a band called Just Like Priest, which is like a Judas Priest.
Yeah, and then, in L.A., they've got the premier Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they're from Orange County, actually.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I was going to say, they got the premier Led Zeppelin tribute out here, Led Zeppelin. I interviewed the singer Swan a couple times, and he was telling me when Led Zeppelin did the reunion tour with Jason Bonham, in the early, sometime in 2000, the 2000s, and they did that celebration CD, that they got invited as Led Zeppelin's special guest backstage at that London show. I mean, just think if you're a tribute band and the actual band invites you to their reunion show. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, that would be like a dream come true, I guess.
Oh, I bet. And Neil Peart and John Bonham, you're talking about what great drummers they were. And they really were. I mean, John Bonham so much to the point that when he died, Led Zeppelin could not even imagine carrying on without him. And I think they made the right decision. And then Neil Peart, people may not even realize, he's not even the original drummer of Rush. He was a new guy for the last 40 years, if you know what I mean. But he had such a strong influence on Rush when he joined the band. He took over writing all the lyrics and everything. I mean, that Rush, all those Rush songs, Neil Peart,
I really like the fact that Led Zeppelin never performed again under the name Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
After John Bonham.
Yeah.
I mean, they had get-togethers with Jason Bonham.
Yeah.
The son of John Bonham, but they didn't call it Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that because he was one of the key members of the band. Without John Bonham, there is no Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I mean, the only other drummer they ever had, I think this is at Live Aid, that they had fill in for John Bonham after his passing, of course, like you said, Jason Bonham, and I think at Live Aid they had Phil Collins, and even when they did with Phil Collins at Live Aid, they didn't call it Led Zeppelin.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Neil Peart, he did write most of the song, the lyrics. Very, very nice, that whole album. I like 2112 and Moving Pictures.
Yeah.
Those are all
albums.
And
you talk about Jimi Hendrix's an influence too. What a amazing guy. I mean, that guy died so tragically young, and yet look at the legacy he left behind. He at least had a few more albums under his belt. But like I was going to say, Randy Rhoads, only two really. He did those Quiet Riot albums. You only get those in Japan. But Randy Rhoads' true legacy is like those two Ozzy albums, and that's it. But look at the huge legacy he left.
Yeah, definitely. Jimi Hendrix, I always say he invented heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to Hendrix, nobody played like that, and he picked the guitar with his teeth, he played it over his shoulders.
Set it on fire, all the
acrobatic stuff on stage, and, distortion pedal, and a wah-wah pedal, all of that was like, everybody's going, wow, what is he doing? What's all that?
Yeah.
So he was the foundation of all that we hear today,
Yeah. Well, David, I want to thank you for doing the interview with me today. I really enjoyed catching up with you, and I wasn't aware that you've been in the accident and everything, so I'm glad to hear you're doing so much better, and let's keep in touch and do it again. This interview, I'm going to try to post it within the next week or two, and I'll let you know the minute it goes up, but let's keep in touch, and I want to make you part of our Chaotic Riffs family, meaning that we interview you anytime you have anything going on, or just that we do it a lot more, because I want to thank you too that you're always following me on my pages and leaving comments, and we really appreciate that, and we want to make you part of our family, and let's be sure to keep in touch and do this again, okay?
Definitely. I want to thank you for the opportunity for this interview, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, and the final thing I'll say before letting you go, so when you do hit the stage again, and when you do have some live shows coming up, when you do drop some new music, even if it's just a single or a new track at a time, let us know, and we will help you promote the hell out of it and get the word out, okay?
Sure, that sounds great, Jason. Thank you so much.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.